Okay, 4.3, financial statements for a departmental merchandising business. We have one objective. You need to be able to prepare financial statements for a departmentalized merchandising business. So they're showing us an example of an income statement. An income statement is a financial statement showing the revenue and expenses for a fiscal period. So we have created an income statement before. The difference here now is that we're going to have different departments. We still have our statement heading, who, what, when. Here's where we're going to see our info from a departmental margin statement. Then we have our indirect expenses from our adjusted trial balance. And then we have our income taxes, and then our net income. We also see that we have vertical analysis ratios. Okay, stockholders equity. Stockholders equity is a financial statement that shows changes in a corporation's ownership for a fiscal period. And sorry, this should be all bolded statement of stockholders equity. Earnings distributed to stockholders are called dividends. A statement of stockholders equity contains two major sections. First of all, it's going to have capital stock, which is total shares of ownership in a corporation, and then retained earnings, an amount earned by a corporation but not yet distributed to the stockholders. So here is our example of our statement of stockholders equity. Again, we have our heading, who, what, when. Then we're going to have our capital stock section. So here is going to be information about those stocks, the shares issued at the beginning, the shares issued during the year, and then what we have for shares at the end of the year. Then we're going to have our retained earnings section. So we're going to have our balance at the beginning. Then we're going to have our net income less the dividends that we declare. That's going to give us our net increase. And then from that, we will get then our balance of our retained earnings at the end of the year. And then the last thing that we will have is we're going to take our capital stock and our ending retained earnings. We'll add them together to figure out what our ending total stockholders equity is. Okay, then we have a balance sheet. A balance sheet is a financial statement that reports assets, liabilities, and owner's equity on a specific date. Remember, our balance sheet really shows our accounting equation, that assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. So here is our asset information. Here is our liability information. This is going to come from our adjusted trial balance. And then our stockholders equity section is going to come from our statement of stockholders equity. A statement of cash flows. The cash receipts and cash payments of a company are called their cash flow. So the statement of cash flows is a financial statement that summarizes cash receipts and cash payments resulting from business activities during a fiscal period. A cash flow statement is divided into three sections of activities. Here's our example of our statement of cash flows. We're going to have cash receipts and payments necessary to operate a business on a day-to-day basis. Those are going to be our operating activities. And then we're going to have cash receipts and cash payments involving the sale or purchase of assets used to earn revenue over a period of time. Those are going to be our investing activities. And then our last section is going to be our cash receipts and payments involving debt or equity transactions. Those are going to be our financing activities. So we have operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. All right, audit your understanding question number 1. Where does Wiley obtain the information to prepare the indirect expenses section of the income statement? Account titles and balances are going to be obtained from the adjusted trial balance. Number 2, from where is the information to prepare the direct expenses section of the income statement obtained? So that information, those totals are going to be obtained from the departmental margin statements. And then the last question, number 3, where does Wiley obtain the stockholders' equity amounts reported on the balance sheet? The totals of capital stock and retained earnings, those are going to be obtained from the statement of stockholders' equity. That was the end of lecture for 4.3. Now go on to your 4.3 work together.